Good morning. This weekend I'm here in Bonita Springs, Florida for the Bonita Springs National Art Festival. This show I haven't done in a long time. I did it one other time before, and it was at like the height of the COVID-19 pandemic shutdown, whatever. It was like one of the first shows to open up back in Florida, and I haven't done it since then. I did well at the show back then, but it's always conflicted with other shows I like to do. And this year I wanted to change things up a bit, so I'm giving it a shot. I'm about halfway through my Florida show season, which is crazy. I can't believe that my Florida season is already half over. I'm doing about 12 shows here in Florida this winter, and they're all back to back to back every week. And because of that, the season, to me, usually just drags on forever and just feels like such a long time, but it has flown by this year. I'm actually running a little late this morning because I was slow to get up at the hotel. I set up yesterday and was a little tired this morning, so slept in just a little bit. So let's get down to the show. Hopefully the show this weekend goes really well because I could really use a great show by now. All of my shows so far this season have been pretty moderate, like not great, but not bad, definitely. Usually by this point in the season, I've had a few outstanding shows that really propel me and my sales and my earnings for a little while, and that just hasn't happened so far this year. But I'll take moderate and kind of average every week over having bad shows or poor sales. And when I talk to other artists, I'm hearing a lot of doom and gloom from you guys, having bad shows and just bad sales every week and doing a lot of complaining out there. And a lot of people are blaming this on the political and economic situation in the country, which definitely affects our industry. But unfortunately, as individual artists, this isn't something that we can really control ourselves. So I try to focus on things that I definitely can control myself, making sure that I'm well rested, that I have enough food for the show, that I'm friendly and greet everyone who comes into my booth, even if it's the end of the day and no one has bought anything all day long. I still treat people coming into my booth as if I'm excited to be here, which gets really tough and exhausting some days. At the same time, I've heard from a few artists who are having by far the best start to their show season ever. And something I've noticed about the artists who have told me these things are that they have really brand new, fresh work out there. And this is something that I focus on, is trying to have like good, fresh, new, exciting work that I'm excited about. For some reason, my newest work always seems to sell the best. Even if people have never seen any of my work before, they somehow are drawn to the newest work. And that's something we really can control as artists. It looks to me, and it's very disappointing to me because I chose to be in this area, but that the area that I'm in is seeing a lot less traffic than the street area and some other areas in the show here. So really going to have to take my own advice this weekend and work extra hard to make the best out of the people who do venture over to where I am in this field behind me. One thing if I'm having a slow sales day, but I'm still engaged in talking to people and busy having good conversations with potential collectors and planting those seeds for future sales. But this afternoon has been really slow and is really dragging. There's not many people walking around, especially where I am. So it's been really dragging, and I'm finding it difficult to keep up that positive energy and good attitude I was talking about earlier in the video. I really chose the wrong week to talk about this shit, I guess. Of course, it figures the week that I decide to make a video about artists complaining that art shows have been crummy this year, and what you can do to help prevent that and deal with things like that is the week that I end up having a crummy art show. I think my sales are like $380 for the weekend, which doesn't even cover my booth fee. But I do have some people to follow up with during the week, so hopefully I'll be able to add to that and kind of recover with some after-show sales this week. But of course, it's always nice to get that done at the show is what I would prefer. I don't know what it was. It was a beautiful weekend. Just the traffic was pretty low, and the people who were here didn't seem as engaged as they typically are at shows in the area. I did hear from a couple artists who did pretty well. I spoke to one painter in particular who sold 2 large paintings and had a good show. But for the most part, most artists didn't have a very good show this weekend, unfortunately. So it's not just me, and I don't know if that makes me feel better or worse. Because if it was just me, then there's some hope for me in the future, and if it's everyone, then that can be more indicative of a trend. So I don't really know. Unfortunately, I don't have any answers for anybody. All I could do is keep going to the next show, bring my best work with me, and do all the things that I try and do to have a great show every week anyway.